If you're holding a 1965 Washington quarter in your pocket or coin jar right now, don't be so quick to spend it. You might be sitting on a little piece of American history that's far more valuable than its face value. Today, we're diving into the story behind the 1965 Washington quarter-dollar coin, its history, hidden value, errors to look for, and what makes some of these coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in this unassuming piece of change. Let's rewind to the mid-1960s, a time of dramatic change in the American coinage system. Silver prices were rising rapidly, and it had become more expensive to mint coins than their actual face value. Up until 1964, the U.S. quarter was composed of 90% silver and 10% copper. But in 1965, that changed. The U.S. Mint made a significant shift, replacing the silver content with a clad composition, a copper core sandwiched between two outer layers of cupronickel. This transition marked the beginning of the modern clad coin era, and the 1965 Washington quarter became the very first of its kind. But what makes this particular year so fascinating is not just the metal change, it's everything that came with it. Confusion, hoarding, errors, and of course, rare coins. The official mintage for the 1965 Washington quarter was over 1.8 billion. Yes, billion with a B. So, you might be thinking, how could something so common ever be worth more than 25 cents? Well, the answer lies in error coins, transitional mistakes, and high-grade examples. Let's talk about the 1965 silver error quarter, one of the most legendary mistakes in U.S. coinage history. You see, although the mint officially stopped using silver in quarters starting in 1965, there were still some leftover silver planchets, those blank coin discs, floating around from 1964. Some of these silver planchets accidentally got stamped with the 1965 design, creating what we now call the 1965 silver quarter error. Now here's the kicker. A genuine 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet can be worth thousands of dollars, up to $7,000 or more, depending on its condition and certification. So, how do you spot one? The easiest way is to weigh it. A regular 1965 clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, while the silver version weighs closer to 6.25 grams. That small difference can mean a major payday if you're lucky. Another thing to look out for is the edge of the coin. Clad quarters have a distinct copper-colored edge due to the inner core being exposed. But silver quarters will have a solid silver-colored edge, with no visible copper. That's a quick way to check your 1965 quarters at home. Aside from the silver error, there are other minting mistakes that make some 1965 quarters highly collectible. For example, double die obverse errors, where the front of the coin has a slight doubling in the lettering or the date. These are much harder to spot without magnification, but collectors pay good money for them. There are also off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets, which are all types of mechanical errors during the coin striking process. Depending on how dramatic the error is and how well it's preserved, these coins can fetch hundreds of dollars at auction. Let's not forget about condition, or what collectors call grade. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS 60 and above being mint state, meaning the coin was never circulated and retains its original luster. A 1965 Washington quarter in MS 67 or MS 68 condition is extremely rare and can command prices of $500 to over $1,000. The reason? Even though these coins were made by the billions, most of them went straight into circulation, meaning very few survived in pristine, untouched condition. If you're ever unsure about a coin's authenticity or condition, it's always best to get it graded by a reputable third-party service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. A certified coin not only holds more value in the market, but it also gives buyers and sellers peace of mind. Now here's a fun twist. Because of the coin shortage in the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint didn't produce any proof sets or mint sets in 1965. Instead, they created what's called Special Mint Sets, SMS. These coins were struck with a higher quality than circulation coins but weren't quite up to the level of proof coins. If you find a 1965 quarter from an SMS set, it might have a unique frosted appearance with sharper details. These are also collected by numismatists and can sell for $50 to $150 or more in top condition. You might also hear collectors talking about full drum lines or full details on the eagle's tail feathers on the reverse side. While not as widely discussed as full steps on Jefferson nickels, any quarter with exceptional detail is worth taking a closer look at. Sharp strike details can significantly boost the coin's value. And here's a pro tip: avoid cleaning your coins. Many new collectors think polishing an old quarter will increase its value. In reality, it does the opposite. Cleaning leaves scratches and removes the original surface, destroying the coin's numismatic value. Collectors want originality, even if the coin is a little dirty or toned. So now that you know what to look for in a 1965 Washington quarter, the next time you're sorting through change, keep your eyes peeled.